Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Week 5 video reflection from Room 110 here at Nemaha Valley High School. A very, very busy week for us, Monday through Friday. Last time we talked after Week 4, I spoke about this academic rhythm that we needed to find, and was chatting about with some of the other teachers earlier this week and midweek. And I had to say that although we still seem a little disorganized, and a little bit too much maybe flying by the seat of our pants for some of our students, we are starting to find and discover a little bit of an academic rhythm. So we've made some progress in that regard here throughout the course of the week. I couldn't say that that's what it was looking like around Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wasn't for sure if we were going to be able to say that by the end of the week, but our White Day students pulled through today and definitely showed that we were trending up towards finding that academic rhythm and getting things done and being prepared. Looking back at this week, we have officially wrapped up Unit 1 in each one of our classes for both biology and integrated science. The test for biology went fantastic. I don't have all the grades in the grade book yet. I've still got a couple that I need to check. Haven't handed them back to them yet because there's still a few tests that are absent, haven't been turned in. We've approached those students. Got to get them in at some point in time, I guess. Okay, but the ones that have been graded and have been checked have been really, really good. So I've been very, very pleased with them, and I'm excited to talk about that Unit 1 test with those students next week. The test to end Unit 1 for integrated science were at about average. And we talked about that with the integrated science classes Thursday and Friday. They completed it on the iPad using Google Forms. So I was able to use this cool little script called Flubbaroo, F-L-U-B-A-R-O-O, that I insert into the actual Google form, and it does the grading for me, gives me a statistical breakdown, shows me questions of concern, so on and so forth. So it's almost immediate feedback to me about the students' performance and to the students about their performance. 69.7% was the average score, so slightly below average there, and I'd consider average anywhere from 70 to 75%. We had several students score very well, quite a few students score very low, and a lot of other students right there in that 70 percentile range. For being the first unit test, I'm not very surprised about that, and in all honesty, we'll probably be trending more towards the upper average echelon anyways from test to test as the year goes on. Talked about it with each one of the integrated science classes, had them tell me how much they studied prior to the test, both throughout the entire course of the unit and just right before the test. And the survey, the informal survey, showed that we didn't really do much preparation for the test. And we talked then about how you essentially get out of something what you put into it. So if you're not going to put time into preparing and studying for the test, then you probably need to expect the test score to resemble that. But overall, the tests were average. We were okay. Biology, though, hit it out of the park. The other things that we've been turning in this week to wrap up Unit 1 have been our labs. As for our biology students, the labs have been okay so far in terms of submission and also okay in terms of organization and creation. And documentation. I'll be tearing through those more this weekend, so in our Week 6 reflection, probably give you more feedback with that. Integrated science, some really, really fantastic work, and then some that we're missing the boat a little bit. There are some students that really use the resources and the items that I put out there to their benefit. I made a lab report breakdown video that went through each section of the report and what I was looking for in general when you're conducting a lab and when you're putting together a lab report. The students that use that, they hit a home run. And it's been enjoyable to check out those lab reports and see all of those practices documented so you know that they took place and the students were able to apply them accurately and effectively and efficiently throughout the process. Unit 1 as a whole, though, for each class, we made progress. And like I said, it seems like we're getting into that academic flow now. And Unit 1's important. Unit 1 is very important going forward because it is our preparation for everything else in terms of how to approach it. The entire scientific investigative process and all of the practices of science that we need to carry out every time we're in science to make sure that we are doing our best to get the greatest amount of understanding possible from the material that we're covering. Biology is completely immersed now in Unit 2. We are knee-deep in Unit 2, all about ecology, and it's been exciting. Start off the week a little rocky. Maybe not a little rocky, but a lot rocky. We didn't prepare ourselves for the class period. White Day on Wednesday needed to have a video watched. So when we went out to the Spring Creek Golf Course, which is essentially our learning lab, our ecology learning lab for this unit, they would be able to take the checklist, take the iPad, and run with it. Identify those basic ecological items out on the actual tallgrass prairie. We weren't ready for it, though. The majority of us did not watch the video, and it made things a little difficult. The video watching rates for blocks 1, 3, and 4 are even less, which was very aggravating. So on Thursday on Purple Day, we struggled mightily out at the course initially, but things did pick up. And for a couple of those blocks, we actually sat here, took time away from our experience out at the Learning Lab, and watched the video prior to going out there. White Day, though, got my point. We had a discussion on Wednesday about that, and White Day got my point because I think only 2 of 15 didn't watch the video for today's activities out at Spring Creek Golf Course. That's a great turnaround, and we'll see what we do with Purple Day on Monday, as they'll have 3 days to have watched the basic video over energy flow in ecology, our second lesson, and let's see how prepared they are. So we'll know more about that in the week 6 reflection there. But we are jam-packed here in biology. All right, this ecology unit is jam-packed. Things are really busy on a day-to-day basis. And we've got these projects that are kind of going on in the background the whole time. Students are essentially given 2 options: creating a walking tour of a tallgrass prairie environment, or creating an education box that they'd share with an elementary school grade class to educate them on ecology and the tallgrass prairie, our native ecology. The rubrics for those and the information for those is found on the website underneath the unit page for ecology, as is a tentative calendar outlining what's going on and when we need to get it done. So all that material and all that information is available to you to kind of go through and look through, and also ask your students about it. Okay, pick their brains about it, because they're probably going to be doing work outside the classroom, fingers crossed, with their peers to kind of get these projects going and to get these projects completed in a timely manner. But we are completely immersed in Unit 2 now, and students are going to have to apply themselves outside the classroom, not an extended amount of time, but on a daily basis, 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here. We're going to have to make sure that we're prepared and that we're maximizing class time and that we're organized. Biggest thing is probably prioritizing and organizing right now for biology students. Unit 2 for integrated science just started today, Friday, with our White Day students. We discussed the Unit 1 test. We checked out textbooks, so they now have that in their possession as we move forward into Unit 2, which is all about Earth's internal processes. And there's 4 major concepts that we're going to be covering with that are outlined on the Unit 2 page for integrated science. A lot of the information is found in Chapter 25, and they have a homework video that they need to watch for Tuesday and next Wednesday, each one of those classes. One thing that we did today was we were going to try to get introduced to some of the material by watching a Deadliest Earthquakes video from one of the NOVA series on PBS. In order to conversate about the video in real time, we went ahead and we signed up for Twitter accounts, school-affiliated Twitter accounts using their USD115.org email address. Every student in integrated science is going to sign up for one of these. If you have a concern or a comment about that, or you would not like your student to be partaking in that, please email me, call me, let me know. We'll delete the account, or we'll look for some other means of their involvement. Part of the reason we're doing this Twitter activity is so we can conversate about the video quietly in the background while we're actually watching and engaged in the video. Fantastic real-time conversation occurring while gathering that information. It's called back channeling. and it's a really cool feature that you can use Twitter for in an advantageous manner. Another reason we use Twitter is because it's fantastic for classroom conversation, both in and out of the school day, and it's also a great way to track and gather information from credible science sources, from other educators around the nation, around the globe, and from other peers. Our means is designing and using Twitter as a resource to benefit our education inside this building, inside the halls of NVHS. So students are restricted on who they can follow, what their content is that they publish, and their general interactions using Twitter. They can have their own personal account, but students are only supposed to follow science oriented accounts, fellow peers inside this building, and other educators from this building, and again, from across the nation. So we're keeping it science, we're keeping it educated, and we're keeping all of the content geared towards those topics as well. That's our goal. Another benefit about this is we're teaching the digital citizenship that goes along with social media usage. And it's an engaging manner to keep some of the kids attached to what we're covering and attached to the content. That's kind of it for Unit 2 for Integrated Science at this point in time. There's some information dealing with the vocabulary on the class website there underneath the Unit 2 page. But that's kind of where we're at now for both biology and integrated science classes. I have to say that overall we got into that rhythm this week. We really did maximize all 84 minutes. I could tell that as the week went on, that organization, that prioritizing did increase from student to student, from class to class. But we're not there yet, and we just got to keep on keeping on. Hopefully this website of ours and gets utilized more here over the coming weeks as students begin to finally take some time outside the school day to do some science, integrated science and biology. Now, that was another convo we had earlier in the week. I asked students, what biology did you do? What biology did you do from Tuesday to Thursday? And 13 out of 15, none. Didn't consider it, didn't think about it, didn't do it at all, and they had stuff to do. So we'll see how well they did that stuff over the weekend and if they're prepared for Monday. That's about it for this week. Questions, comments, or concerns, by all means, give me a shout, give me a holler. Would love to hear from you. And if not, I will see you at parent-teacher conferences this Wednesday and this Thursday. That would be September 25th and September 26th. Adios. Thanks a lot for your time. Bye.